Tytuł jest trochę mylący, bo ta historia wcale nie jest taka short i w 20 minut pewnie nie uda Wam się zdobyć wiedzy, która pozwoli na wdrożenie jakości w organizacji. Chyba że się uda, ale prawdopodobnie nie. Głównym przekazem jest sprzedanie Wam kilku konceptów, które możecie potem spróbować wdrożyć w organizacji, ewentualnie nabyć jakieś kompetencje, które możecie wewnętrznie sobie budować, a mam nadzieję przydadzą się później. Dobra, czyli tak, jak już powiedziałem, miało być short, więc to jest trochę oszukane, ale będziemy jechać szybko, tak? Oh, it's in English. Okay, no problem, sorry. So it's in English, probably it will be even faster. If it's too fast, you have a record, so you can get back to this one and listen again. So I'm Dawid. I work for Brainly, and this is my cat. This is one of three heroes of this story. Now, you probably know more or less that. So always pick two of three: quality, speed, and price. For small companies, for startups, probably quality is the least important, like almost every time. However, what Richard Branson, do you know Richard Branson? Yes. Okay, good, at least one person. For those who doesn't know, I recommend the book, Screw It, Let's Do It. It's really awesome. So what Richard says is like the cheapest one, it's not always the best one. Probably it's never the best one. So let me start with step -1. Step -1, which is realizing. So if you realize there is a problem, probably it's half of your success. So that's 50% of your success. You know there is a problem. And that's how usually the companies, not necessarily startup, but smaller companies, they at some point realize, hey, we have problem. We have quality problem. So why that happens? I have three most common points. The first one is when customer get back to you and says, what the fuck? Like, what do you give to me? Like, that doesn't work. The quality is low. That's not what I expected. It can be customer or it can be your user, depending if it's product or software house company. Then it's probably more important because it's about developers, about people inside the company, so they can get really frustrated because of low quality. The third one is losing money. That's probably the most countable thing. So when the company is losing money, there is something wrong. And the last one is anything that interests C-level at the company. So that's the only person in charge of changing something dramatically, changing the whole company. Now, after that, when they realize there is something wrong, those three magic words arrive: let's hire someone to improve our quality, to build a proper process, to find another people to fix it, and that's how it should work. Usually it doesn't work like that, because one person, unless it's medieval warrior, you know, it's brave and gentle at the same time. So probably there are not so many people with all the skills needed, but we need to start somehow. So then it comes step 0. I call it exploring and staffing. So usually the question is, we have one person, so why do we need more? Like we have one. That one should fix everything. We don't have a lot of people. Maybe it's 50, maybe it's 100, which is quite a lot, as you probably know. But we have that one person. So we are startup. Why do we need it? And I have 3 metrics or 3 actions that are always worthwhile to show. So the first one is gathering metrics, showing them how much time you spend on proper activities. Probably we don't really want to spend a lot of time just clicking. Like, we are human beings. We want to do something creative. It's not necessarily about automation. It can be identifying case scenarios. It can be shaping processes and so on. But probably this manual clicking and time spent on meeting, which is here, in total giving 65%, that's very often money not really well invested, because you need to repeat and repeat it again. So you can have that metric and just track it. Then, which is more brutal probably because it's about money. So you can show it in dollars. But when you show it in dollars, it's more, it has much more effect. So you can calculate if there was some major problem. For example, our users couldn't log in for half a day. So how much money we could lost, or user couldn't download that application for 2 days. We can count it. How many potential users? How many payments for that? Just multiply and then have the amount of money. And the third step could be to create a roadmap. So that's your that's your involvement. You want to show to the company what could be the ideal solution. What we can introduce that, like, colors are enough. You don't have to read everything that is inside. So show what I would like to achieve. The important thing, it should be adjusted to the timeline, not to the current capacity, because if you have 2 people, then probably it should be like 1/3 of that. So your ideal solution, how would you like to introduce it? How would you like to shape the quality process across the company? So finally, we have step number 1. Okay, that's not so short, and that's not so, okay. Step number 1. So what does it mean to be a great QA agent? I have 4 major pillars for that. The first one is to be a great leader. And by being a great leader, I don't really mean leader as a position, leader as a name of your job title. It can be informal leader. So again, what Richard Branson says, yes, I like to put quotes of smart people because I don't know if I am that smart. So if I put it here, it has much better effect. So what Richard Branson says, and that's probably my favorite quote of all those people, that customers and users never comes first. Because people comes first. If you take care of your employees, they take care of your customer, which is true because that's how we live. So 3 major aspects of being a great leader. So the first one is help and protect. So what do I mean by help and protect? If there are any external influences and you want to help someone, you should do it. So have you ever heard about context switching? It's like when you change your task to other task, you lose a lot of time because you need to change your context. And then you get back. So if you have that person who can protect and just help them, that's just awesome. But it always can be you, because it's never just title. Like leader is never just title. The second one is trust and give ownership. So there is nothing such like I cannot imagine better satisfaction than when you get ownership and you can deliver something from the very beginning till the end. That's your project, that's your piece of work. So you start, you finish, and you can say, wow, that's what I did. That's not just a small part of the well-oiled machine. That's your part. You just delivered it. But it needs a lot of trust. And the third one, let them grow. If you sit at the company 1, 2, 3 years, and you don't really feel like you can increase your skills, you don't really grow, well, that's probably not the best place for you. You can always try to change it. You can always ask, hey, can I spend some time for self-development? Or, if you are the person sitting at that place, or you can give someone time to increase skills. So both perspectives is like formal leader or manager or employee. You can always give that time, or you can ask for that time. So being a great leader, that's for sure. The second one is being a great QA. Yeah, it's quite hard to build quality inside the company, not being great QA. So the first point is always at the beginning, try to put quality requirements to your project. So who of you have ever had a chance to force the team or the company to put quality requirements into the project? Any success story? Good. better than 0. So what could it be? Actually, anything you imagine. It can be definition of done. It can be definition of ready. It can be performance indicators. It can be scenarios created before the release. It's up to you. Like, sky is the limit. But the most important is to start. If there are no quality requirements at your project, at your team, that's probably the best situation to start. Then get inspired and learn from the best. Like, I can give a few examples, but the most important, never try to copy it all, because you probably know Spotify and those chapters and guilds, tribes, and so on. So do you think introducing it at your company will fix the problem? I don't think so. You can use quality assistance approach by Atlassian, but will it fix your problem? I'm not sure. Or you can try Facebook approach, and that's what my current company did a couple of years ago. So no testers. And it doesn't work, and it didn't work, which is not surprising. But at the time, trying to scale from the best, that was probably like, hey, they did it, so why not we? Well, because we are a different company, that's probably. So you can try few approaches, but never scale it all. But at first, always educate. So you're subject matter experts. So is there any better person who can teach others about quality? I don't think so. So that's you. That's on you to build the quality and to learn others how to create that quality. The first thing, I called it fast mover because, like, if we talk about smaller companies or startups, like, they change very quickly in terms of business model, in terms of direction, in terms of company size. So, for example, rapid scaling up and so on. So you need to adapt quickly. And when I say you need to adapt quickly, probably in your mind there is the word agile appears, because it's like quick change, adapting to quick changes. So again, Richard Branson says that you should learn from failures, which is classical American fail fast approach. So if you make a mistake, but you don't repeat it too many times, actually 2 times doing the same mistake is one too much. But one mistake, well, that's perfect option to learn. That's perfect option to know what didn't work and to have it in mind that that's not our way. We can avoid it, and we have somewhere back in your head that for the future, let's try something else. That's learning from your failures. And don't do agile, just be agile. So who of you works in Scrum? Who of you do Scrum? And actually that's expected, because, like, for me, Scrum is just a framework. Yeah, you have a Bible. It's 17 pages, as far as I remember now, so it's quite short Bible. But most people follow it, like one by one, one to one. But being agile actually is adapting to changes and adapting to your own needs. So, and here I put my own sentence, which is not that smart as the previous one, but actually I can say I have never worked in Scrum. It was always even Scrumban or some hybrid of Kanban or some hybrid of Scrum, but never one-to-one. The better you adjust the approach to your needs, the better team will perform. So it's actually the feature of high-performing organizations and high-performing teams and high-performing people. So fast mover. And the last one is influencer. And just yesterday, I have checked the 15 most popular teenager words in Poland. Influencer is at place 9. And actually, because I put influencer here, I had to learn what is the difference between influencer and trendsetter. So if you are curious about it, I will be somewhere there in doc zone, because it's not the place to explain that. But actually, that's what our customers at Brainly or users expect, because like target group is 12, 15. So it's quite challenging. But getting back to the point, like being influencer, what does it mean for me? Being influencer is when you can show someone and get interest from the person or group of people. What can it be? Like being a great speaker. I don't know if great speaker like speaking at the conferences, probably it's not what is needed. Great speaker is advocating your own ideas. So you have idea and you need to somehow sell it. Because like if you have quality idea, quality improvement idea, to introduce it, you need to present it. And to present it, you need to speak. Like I know most developers became developers because they didn't expect to talk to people. But actually, at modern software development, that's impossible. Like we cannot achieve too much if we do not talk to people. And that's your job. If you have idea regarding quality, that's probably the best person to advocate it and to sell it, and probably finally to introduce it. So don't be afraid of speaking to advocate your ideas. The second one is maybe quite controversial, but stop being nice. Like we have a tendency for some reason to be extremely nice to people. Like there is Asha. Like you can stop listening for a moment. And by stop being nice, I mean not always try to give to people something they expect, because you try to do something for them. And if you try to do something for them, you stop your own job. And again, we get back to context switching. So if you don't have proper plan, if you don't have strict plan, then your efficiency will be much lower. And be proactive. So if you are, be nice in your real life, but being quite assertive in terms of gathering tasks from other people. And being proactive to make things happen. Because if it's not you advocating this idea and trying to introduce it, there is probably no one. And I can give you one pro tip that I have learned by accident. And for some reason, it works. I think it's because of human thing. So if you have an idea and you want to introduce it, and probably there are a lot of people arguing that, no, it won't work, we can do something else, and so on. But you can say something like that, if you have any better idea, we can try it. And usually, people don't. Like, if you say, that's my idea, let's try it, and if you have anything better, we can try your solution. But usually, people are just complaining. Like, that's in most cases. So if you have that approach, probably that's the way how you can try your own idea. Fake it till you make it. Have you ever heard that sentence? Yes. Perfect. It's a great way to, again, sell your ideas. So my case from like 2 months ago, I tried to learn the product team how to estimate in an efficient way. The problem was that I had no bloody idea how to do it. So I started learning and telling them, hey, we can move forward our workshop like 1 week or 2 weeks, because like I was not ready yet. And then we did it, and actually that was quite successful. I mean, quite, but it was really good achievement because they increased targeting estimations probably 2 or 3 times. So fake it till you make it. So what else can you do? Actually, the sky is the limit. You can do exploratory sessions to understand and to get other perspectives, not only testers. You can try, as I said, task estimation. You can try simplification of bugs reporting. You can try a risk mitigation, or maybe BDD in product. Probably most of them won't work, but until you don't try it, you will never know. So what did you learn here? I have 2 seconds left. The first one, being a great QA, is being a great leader. by skills, not by the position name. Then being a great QA, which doesn't really need explanation because like most of you are QAs. Then fast mover, so you can quickly adapt to changes, and you are agile. You don't do agile, you are agile. And being an influencer, or if you prefer to be more on the time or like adapted to younger generation, you can say it trendsetter instead of influencer. And that's the first sentence I've started with. Screw it, let's do it. So until you start, until you try, you will never know if it works. So if you want to remember just one sentence from this presentation, that's this. Screw it, let's do it. And yeah, that's my team helping me with preparation. Actually, this is the first presentation I used only my cats, which is my biggest personal success. Yeah, if you have any questions, you can find me here, or you can find me in DocZone. Thanks.